Okay. Okay, good, good. And one more thing I want to bring to your notice: be honest. Okay, honesty is the best policy. You must have heard this phrase that honesty is the best policy. But in practical life also, it is the best policy. It's the best way to live life. So try not to say small lies. I know what I'm asking is not so relevant, and I know it cannot make your change. I mean, it cannot change your life even if you lie. But still, if you haven't read it, be honest. I haven't read it. Just like Alina, I appreciate what she said because she turned on her mic and she told in front of everybody that she didn't write. That's a very good. That's a very good character, and I appreciate such characters. Very good, Alina. I couldn't appreciate you earlier. Good job. And I encourage everybody in the class to be like that, to be confident or to be courageous or brave enough to tell the truth. Okay, all good. Okay, so Carolyn Wells, American writer, wrote almost 170 books in her lifetime, and she mostly focused on poetry, humor, and children's books. Today's class, we're going to read about um, a poem which is written in a humorous way, and the poet describes some animals in the poem. So some of the animals, so wild animals. So some of the wild animals, the which are very dangerous. The author has listed these wild animals in a very humorous way. So it's actually an interesting poem. So those who have read it must have understood that it's a very interesting poem and it's a very simple poem. There's not much complication in the poem when you read it. It's very simple and it's also very interesting. And the reason why it is interesting is because the poet has actually addressed these dangerous beasts in a very humorous way. And we'll go paragraph by paragraph or stanza by stanza on this poem, starting with the first stanza. So, um, okay, you are Sara Devi. Could you read the first stanza of the poem? Could you unmute your mic? Could you see this? Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
The slide? Okay. Could you just read it for everybody, the first stanza?
If ever you should go by change to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if the rods at you as you are, that word,
You're dying.
dying, you will know it is the Asian lion.
Okay. So the poet in the initial lines have is talking about an Asian lion. Okay, so um, I know most of you will be pretty much aware about the lion's roar. The lion's roar is so loud that it can be heard at least 2 to 3 kilometers away from the from where he's actually roaring. Is that a fact? No, I just made that up. It's not a fact. I just made that up just so that you could, wow, you'll be like, wow, seriously? And I'll be like, no, it's not seriously. I'm just kidding. I don't know, honestly, if the lion's roar can reach 2 kilometers far. But, anyways, you must have seen lions roar not in person, thankfully, not in person, but at least in Nat Geo or some TV channels, at least Discovery. So in these TV channels, when you hear the lion's roar, you can see that it's loud. And lion is a mighty animal, isn't it? Is it a mighty animal?
Yes,
Yes. And lion is the king of the jungle?
yes.
Says who? Who says lion is the king of the jungle?
Sir, me, Alina.
Okay. That's such a good one, Alina. I like that. Okay, so lion is the king of the jungle, so says Alina. Credits to her. But I'm not really sure if lion knows that he's the king of the jungle. But anyways, we humans refer to lion as the king of the jungle. Um, okay, and so the point is saying, if ever you go to the east, to the jungles in the east, and if you ever encounter a lion, and if he sees you and roars at you, know this that you are dead, and you will know that it's the Asiatic lion. And how can you recognize an Asian lion? By the roar. So, what's the title of the poem? How to tell wild animals, or how to identify wild animals. So, the poet is giving you a humorous way of, or pointing out to you in a humorous way how to identify an Asian lion. The poet says it's by the roar of the lion that you'll understand that it's a lion. And pray to God that if you hear that roar, that you are alive, because most probably you will end up in his inside his mouth. I don't know. I've never met a lion in real life. How many of you have met a lion in real life?
Sir, from zoo.
Oh, you have seen it from zoo. Okay. Everybody have seen it from zoo?
Yes, sir.
Lion കാണാത്ത എത്ര പേരുണ്ട്? How many of you have not seen a lion? Okay. Okay, Gayatri app. Okay, Adi, thank you for reminding me, Adi. I have actually recorded. I've started the recording. Thanks for the reminder again. Okay, so that's how you identify a tiger. I mean, not a tiger. This is a lion. That's how you identify a lion. Now let's see which animal we're going to identify next. So the next animal is a Bengal tiger. Look how ferocious this animal looks. Look at its eyes. The look of a tiger can literally take the soul out of your body. That's how ferocious the tiger looks. Yeah, the tiger is one of the strongest cats. It's stronger than lion. Tiger is stronger than lion, but it doesn't have that roar like the lion. Hence, it is not the king of the jungle. But there won't be any ego clashes between the lions and tigers because they don't know who the king or the queen of the jungle is. It's just humans. We tell that, oh, this is the this is the king of the jungle. This is the blah blah blah. No animal knows that, and thank God for that, because otherwise bad politics would have happened in animal kingdom as well. Okay, coming back to the second stanza. Vishmay, can you read the second stanza, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you, with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern.
Okay. Alina, could you just turn your mic on and inform everybody what you just texted me in private? I think that'd be very informative for all.
Sir, that lion's roar could be heard 5 miles, about 5 miles. And tigers 1.8.
5 miles? 5 miles is like what, 7.5 or 8 kilometers?
8 kilometers.
Thank you for that, Alina. That's a very good information. I didn't know that. That's news for me. But thank you. Keep sharing when you have something very interesting or different, or even if you have an experience, that will do. If you have a funny experience, share it. It'll be very, very nice. Otherwise, it'll be just me just blabbering throughout the class. Okay, it's so boring for me because I'm hearing my voice. It's so good to have somebody else in the conversation. Okay, thank you, Vishmay, for reading it to us. And or if sometimes when roaming around, a noble wild beast. So here you see the tiger is referred to as a noble wild beast. Noble is a very good quality. Yeah, nobility is a good quality. And that good quality is used to refer to these wild animals, to this tiger. Look at the face of that tiger. Does it look noble to you?
No.
It doesn't? Okay.
No, sir.
No? Is it just me who thinks that this look actually looks noble on the tiger? It's just me, I guess. Ah. Okay. So, yeah. So the tiger here is referred to as a noble wild beast, and it has got black stripes. That's how we identify it. So a lion is identified with its roar. The tiger is identified its noble face and the black and yellow, the black stripes on the yellow body. And it says, be aware of the tiger because it's a very dangerous animal and it's a very strong animal. And if it sees you, it might eat you. And if you understand so much, you will understand that is a Bengal tiger that you see. This one means see or witness. There's actually another word in the last slide. Let me just take you back there once again in the Asiatic line. There is a word here that is tawny. Do you see this word tawny? So tawny
Yes,
is
sir.
actually a color. Tawny is actually a color. For those who don't know, tawny എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആ ടൈഗറിന്റെ കളറിനെയാണ് tawny എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. I didn't know that till yesterday because yesterday when I was just reading through, I was like, tawny. Do you mean like tawny? But then I Googled and I found that it's about the color. Tawny is the color of the lion. Okay, we are finished with tiger. Now moving on to the next animal. Okay, so who wants to read this?
Strolling for the peace during.
Please, Seba, could you please read for us?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If strolling forth a beast review, whose hide with spots is peppered as soon as he has leapt on you, you will know it is the leopard. 'Twill do no good to roar with the pain. He will help you. He will only leap and leap again.
He'll only leap and leap again. Yeah? Okay. Thank you,
Leap
Seba.
and leap.
That's okay. Thank you, Seba, for reading it to us. So, okay, suppose you are strolling. Strolling means walking forth and walking inside the forest, just having a nature walk. Let's imagine that you're having a nature walk and you're just strolling. Strolling means walking. And you're walking through the nature, through the forest, and suddenly you come across this beast which has peppered spots. See, if you look at this second line, whose hide with spots is peppered. Peppered means pepper. Pepper. What color is pepper? Black. Yeah. And the leopard's body is referred to as a body that's been peppered. So if you can see that it's got small white dots all over its body from its head till its toe to the tail. And is Alok still in the class? Or has he left? I see two people missing in the class. Could somebody help me check that?
Sir, Alok is not there.
Okay, I think one more person is missing. Can you please look?
Sir, Dona, I think.
Okay, Dona. Okay, she's just showing back. Okay. Just a minute, Alok has just texted me. Let me just quickly reply to him. Okay. And suppose you're strolling through the forest and you see an animal with peppered spots, or pepper here means that small black spots all over the body of leopard. And as you know, leopards are very good at climbing trees. It can make one of the biggest leap or biggest jump in all of the cats. And if he says that, the poet says that if you see If you come across a leopard, then the leopard must have leapt on you, because that's how quick the leopard is. Which is the fastest animal in the jungle?
Cheetah.
Oh yeah, cheetah. Cheetah is the fastest animal, so says. I don't know. I've seen in these channels, Discovery Channel and all these channels, that these animals, especially cheetah, running so fast. But even leopard is fast, but not as fast as cheetah. So, anyways, if you see a leopard, you'll see that it has got a peppered spot all over its body, and it will leap on you if you see it. And there is no point in you screaming or asking for help, because if it sees you, it must have leapt on you, and it will make you its prey. And there's no point for you to roar asking for help, because you will have no power over it. You will have no control over it. So if you see a leopard, that's goodbye. You don't have much of an option when you see a leopard. Okay, so that's about leopard. Now coming to the next. Gayatri, could you read it out, the next animal?
So,
Could you read the
uh,
next? Yeah.
if when you are walking round your yard, you meet a great creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it is the bear. If you have any doubt, I guess he will give you just one more chaos.
Charis. Charis means touch or like a hug. So see, how many of you have seen this movie called Reverend? It was a movie by the actor was the cast included Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack from Titanic. Reverend. That movie is called Reverend. In that movie, the protagonist or the lead character actually fights with the bear, and I think he kills the bear. And it's such a good movie. The way they have shot the movie is brilliant. Like it feels so real, that movie. Okay, so the point is, if when you're walking around your yard, so as you know, bears actually come and they try and come to your houses. The reason they come to civilized area is because they eat what humans eat. So that's why they come around human places, because they will have something very interesting to eat. And bears are very huge. Bears are very, very huge. It's almost 10 feet or 12 feet. Bears can be up to 12 feet. And it can actually stand up on its hind legs, or on its back legs. And if you see, if when you're walking around your yard, suppose you're walking in your backyard and you meet a creature there and he hugs you. So hugging is actually not a real hug, okay? Not the hug that we hug. Like we hug in a very lovely way, but the bear does not. The bear's hug can kill you, because it's so strong that if the bear hugs you, consider yourself dead. And it's not a hug that the bear gives, it's actually the bear trying to strangle you. And if you look at the bear has got big claws, like literally claws, it's got big nails. It can scratch you to death. And if you have any doubt if it's a bear, then have no confusion, because he'll give you yet another hug. You can see how the poet is using very funny or humorous way to introduce us to different animals that you can encounter in the jungle. So it's a little bit educative. It can be a little bit educative for the people who doesn't know much about these animals. But I'm sure that you all have some fair amount of idea how these animals are and what the features of these animals are. ആണോ? അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയാണോ? ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന എന്തെങ്കിലും മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ടോ? അലന മോളെ,
Yes, sir.
അലനയ്ക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ടോ?
Yes, sir.
ആണ് ഉള്ളതാണോ എന്ന് ഞാൻ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, next one. Basil baby, can you read for us?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Though to distinguish beast of prey, a novice might not pulse. The crocodile you always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles.
Okay. So the poet is telling us in this paragraph that if you are a person who have not seen much animals, then it is not going to be easy for you to distinguish between these animals. The poet uses a word called novice here. Novice means a beginner. So if you are a person who has not seen much animals, then it won't be easy for you to distinguish one animal from the rest, because you don't know the features of one animal to distinguish it to the other. Yeah. So if the poet is saying, if you see a hyena, don't be stupid. The hyena may look very, very friendly because it has got a smiling face. You look at that hyena, it has got a smiling face, but don't let that smile fool you, because it's not the smile of a friend. It's the smile of a very cunning person or a very cunning animal. So hyenas are a pack animals like wolves. They hunt and they eat in packs, and they have such a good pack. Okay. അവരുടെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയൊരു അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അവരുടെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് ആണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവരുടെ പാക്ക് ആണ്, ആൻഡ് ദേ ഓൾവേസ് അറ്റാക്ക് ഇൻ പാക്സ്. ആൻഡ് വെൻ യു ആർ ഇൻ എ ഗ്രൂപ്പ്, ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഹാർഡ് ഈവൻ for individual animals like tiger or lion to stand against these animals, because they come in packs. Hyenas are very dangerous because they may smile at you to fool you that they are your friend, but they are not. They're actually that's how the way they look. So don't let their smile fool you. So if you are a person who does not know these animals, then their smiles might fool you. That's why the poet says, don't let that fool you. And the next thing you look at is the crocodile. And the poet says the crocodile cries. So here is an interesting fact for you guys. The crocodile always sheds its tears when it is eating their food. It's biological. Okay? ക്രൊക്കഡൈൽ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് അത് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? കരയും. കരയുന്നെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അത് ലിറ്ററലി വിഷമം കൊണ്ട് കരയുന്നില്ല. ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ക്രൈങ് ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് depression or out of the feeling that, oh, I've killed an animal. No, it's crying because it's biological. Okay, just like we have biological, so we blink our eyelids biologically. We yawn when enough oxygen is not reached into our brain. We yawn. Biological. People usually relate yawning to being not interested in the class, but that's not the way it is. Yawning, നമ്മൾ വായിക്കോട്ടെ എന്നൊക്കെ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയും, പക്ഷെ ഒരു രസമല്ല. എന്തല്ലേ വായിക്കോട്ടെ, അലമ്പ്. Yawning is a little more, കുറച്ചും കൂടെ സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ is there any other word for yawning in മലയാളം? മലയാളത്തിൽ വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും വേർഡ് ഉണ്ടോ yawning? എല്ലാരും നിങ്ങൾ വായിക്കോട്ടെ വിടുക പറയാ. That's not a good word. I mean, I say that's not a good word. It's a good word, but it sounds so not good. I don't know. That's just me. Okay. So again, the poet is telling you, if you see a crocodile weeping, know that it's not weeping because it's sad. It's weeping because that's biological for a crocodile to shed its tears or shed water from its eyes when it is eating its prey. So don't get confused. Okay, be smart, understand the difference. Okay, again, the poet is using humorous way to portray the animals, portray the wild animals, these dangerous wild animals. The last but never the least, it's one of the most interesting wild animals. It's so tiny and small. It's one of my favorite animals, and it's a very rare species. I have not seen a chameleon in my life for real. How many of you have seen a chameleon for real in their life? Not from zoos? not from a zoo, from somewhere else, in real. Okay, thank you, Alina. I was about to use my mind to understand your responses, but thank you. Okay, yes, Adil has not seen. Okay, that's fine. Me neither. I have not seen one myself. Okay, so the last one, Leah, could you please read it for us? The last one.
Yes. The true chameleon small, um, a lizard sort of thing. He has not any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, it is the chameleon you see.
Okay, so it's chameleon with a k sound. I know it can be confusing because most of the time CH എന്ന് പറയുന്ന word നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ch എന്ന sound ആണ് നമ്മൾ produce ചെയ്യുക. Chair, chapter. But here it's chameleon. It's the sound is k, not ch. Just be aware of that. So a true chameleon is small. So this thing is actually very small. Okay, I know the picture is huge, but the thing is actually very, very tiny. Okay, is as tiny as your palm. എന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ അത് വിശ്വസിക്കരുത്. അഗെയിൻ എനിക്കറിയില്ല. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഞാനിത് നേരിട്ട് കണ്ടിട്ടൊന്നുമില്ല. സോ ഇറ്റ്സ് ജസ്റ്റ് അസംഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെ കുറെ ഫോട്ടോസ് ഒക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ കെമിലിന്റെ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ ഐ സോ ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ആസ് ഹ്യൂജ് ആസ് യുവർ ഹാൻഡ്. സോ നോട്ട് എ ഫാക്ട്, my opinion. If anybody has a fact, please tell me. I'm all yours. Okay, it's kind of a lizard. If you look at a chameleon, it's kind of a lizard. It has got no ears, nammale pole chevi onnilla, and it has got no wings. Parakkan charaguilla, and it's very 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 slow. Ningal oru chameleon ne kaanannillo. Ee slow motion il dance കളിക്കില്ല. ആൾക്കാർ ഇങ്ങനെ സ്ലോ മോഷനിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഡാൻസ് കളിക്കില്ല. ഇങ്ങനെ ആ ഡാൻസ് ഞാൻ പിന്നീട് കാണിച്ചു തരാം. ലൈക്ക് ഞാനല്ല കാണിച്ചു തരാം, ഞാൻ യൂട്യൂബിൽ പ്ലേ ചെയ്ത് കാണിച്ചു തരാം. So a slow motion dance ചെയ്യുന്നത് പോലെയാണ് ഈ chameleon walk ചെയ്യുന്നത്, because it's so slow, but it's so fun to watch a chameleon. And what is the main feature of a chameleon? Marriott, do you know what's the main feature of a chameleon?
Sir, changes color.
It changes its color. It's camouflage. Chameleon എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് camouflage ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. അത് ഏത് കളറാണോ അതിനുള്ളത്, ഐ മീൻ അതിന്റെ സറൗണ്ടിങ്സിൽ ഉള്ളത് ആ കളറായിട്ട് അഡാപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. അതാണ് ഒരു കെമിലിയന്റെ പ്രത്യേകത. സോ ഇഫ് ദ പോയിന്റ് ഇസ് ഹ്യൂമറസ്ലി ടെല്ലിംഗ് us, if you look at the tree and you see nothing, and if you don't see a thing on the tree, then that means you have spotted a chameleon. What? You look at a tree, you don't see anything on the tree, then you have spotted a chameleon. The poet uses this humorous way to understand that, to make us understand that the chameleon is actually very, very camouflaged. It's very hard to spot a chameleon when it's using its camouflage to hide. But that's when he says, if you spot nothing on the tree, that's when you should know that you have spotted a chameleon. So if you read the entire poem, I want you to read the entire poem. And when you read the entire poem, you can see the poet has used a lot of humorous way to address each dangerous beast to us. It's kind of educative for some, like I mentioned earlier. And ഞാൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ്ങിൽ ഒരു സ്ലൈഡ് കാണിച്ചിരുന്നു നിങ്ങൾക്ക്. I don't know how many of you paid attention. This. അലീന തെറി വിളിക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ? സാറിനോടല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞ എനിക്ക് ഹോംവർക്ക് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ടൈമിൽ, അപ്പൊ സാറ് വീണ്ടും ഹോംവർക്ക് ആയിട്ട്. I am sorry, I have to give some homework. See, this chapter is very, very simple, okay? Adonde I'm going to give the question answers of this chapter as homework. I hope nobody has a problem with that. Okay, aanu ellarum? I hope so. Okay, thank you for responding. Okay, ഈ ഓൺലൈൻ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഞാൻ പേഴ്സണലി I will buy them very good chocolates, big chocolates. So I see Alina and Feba all the time responding. I will buy you guys chocolates. So everybody, class ക്ലാസ്സിന്റെ സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കും. ഇങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഓപ്പൺ ആയിട്ട് ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുമ്പോൾ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും ഞാൻ എന്ത് മേടിച്ചു തരും? ക്ലാസ്സസ്, നമ്മൾ ലൈവ് ക്ലാസ് തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ബിഗ് ചോക്ലേറ്റ്സ്, ഓക്കെ, ബിഗ് ചോക്ലേറ്റ്സ് ഞാൻ മേടിച്ചു തരും. So let this be an encouragement for the remaining people to, turn off their mic and answer the question. And please don't come crying because if I don't get your chocolate because you have not responded to my question. Okay? അതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും ഞാൻ മേടിച്ചത്. Okay, in the last class നമുക്ക് വേഗം പോവാം. I'm going to take 5 extra time. So 8:15 എന്നുള്ളത് 8:20 വരെ പോകും. 15 minutes of your time. So നമ്മൾ rhyme scheme, നമ്മൾ ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പഠിച്ചു rhyme scheme. എല്ലാവരോടും അതിൻ ഷാജി കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ മോനെ? അതിൻ ഷാജി? Okay. അതിൻ ഷാജി, റൈം സ്കീം എങ്ങനെയാ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക? ഹൗ ഡു യു ഫൈൻഡ് ദ റൈം സ്കീം?